So yes, this is a huge blow. Henry Golding and Blake Lively are probably not friends.
Justin Baldoni just unleashed a brutal attack on Blake Lively in court, exposing dirty secrets and scandals that tie directly to their case. From Harvey Weinstein's messy connection to Henry Golding's silent rejection.
But yeah, Henry Golding and Blake Lively are probably not friends.
And Adam Munchhine's testimony, every piece is dragging Blake deeper into the grave she dug herself.
That's my gut instinct, and they're not going to like that she smeared him as just a best friend who was trying to get a look at her vag.
You know, there was a time when Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni looked like the dream team. Two picture-perfect actors co-starring in It Ends With Us. All smiles, all hype, all "we love working together" interviews. Fast forward to today, and it's like watching the Titanic sink in real time. Except somehow Blake managed to hit every iceberg along the way.
Big story today that one of Blake Lively's co-stars from It Ends With Us has come out and said that she is basically lying.
It's not just a little disagreement either. Nope. Blake basically stood up in the courtroom, pointed her finger, and screamed unsafe working conditions, like she was auditioning for a Lifetime movie. Meanwhile, Justin, who kept his mouth zipped for months, finally decided he'd had enough and absolutely swung back. And let's be honest, it's about time. Watching Blake's credibility fall apart has been more satisfying than the ending of a bad TV series you hate watch out of pure spite. And this isn't just about two celebrities fighting. Oh no, this whole mess ripped open Hollywood's ugly underbelly, exposing shady alliances, sneaky PR games, and the desperate clinging of people who can't stand being irrelevant. Blake Lively didn't just fumble her case.
100 times the star power and regular power of anybody on that set was sitting there naked going, "Somebody please get me a cover." Multiple requests, "Get me a cover, get me a cover." And everyone just blew her off like, screw her.
She's practically hosting a masterclass on how to destroy your own career in real time. And the best part? Justin didn't even have to do much. She's doing it all herself. Let's start with the most embarrassing backfire Hollywood scene since Cats tried to be a serious movie. Blake's brilliant team thought it was a genius idea to connect Justin Baldoni to Harvey Weinstein.
I talked about how Harvey Weinstein came out and supported Justin Baldoni. I think it was TMZ who quoted him directly saying that he felt it hit him hard when he read what New York Times had done to Justin Baldoni, and he felt that they did the same thing to him.
Because what better way to win public sympathy than to scream, "He's friends with the biggest creep in Hollywood," right? So, when Vanity Fair originally dropped a headline saying Harvey Weinstein supported Justin Baldoni, Blake's camp popped champagne like they just won a war.
This did not look good for Justin Baldoni. You don't want to be in the same camp as Harvey Weinstein, who's a known predator and has over 80 women coming out against him. Justin Baldoni has one woman claiming things, and we haven't seen any evidence of it yet.
Except plot twist, reality exists. In April 2025, Vanity Fair had to crawl back with a giant flashing correction. Turns out, Harvey Weinstein is not supporting Justin Baldoni. In fact, Weinstein's representative said he's not familiar with the details and has only had the kindest, warmest interactions with Blake and Ryan Reynolds.
So there you go, Blake. You have the support of Harvey Weinstein.
You seriously can't make this stuff up. Blake's team literally threw a boomerang and then stood there looking shocked when it smacked them square in the face. And it gets better. Harvey Weinstein, the last person you want attached to your name, is about to start his brand new trial on April 15th, 2025. Yeah, Blake, great job. Now, instead of Justin looking shady, you're the one cuddled up next to Hollywood's most notorious predator.
So I think Blake Lively's team was like, yay, look, now Justin Baldoni looks worse because now he is supported by the biggest predator in history in Hollywood. But it turns out we were all wrong because Harvey came out and corrected this.
The internet didn't even have to do anything. Blake handed them the meme material on a silver platter. Instead of wrecking Justin's reputation, she accidentally aligned herself with a convicted abuser at the worst possible moment. PR disaster? No. This is a full-blown PR apocalypse.
Yesterday, Vanity Fair had to come out with a correction and they had to add a not. So the headline is now saying, "Congratulations, Justin Baldoni. Harvey Weinstein is not on your side."
But wait, Blake's talent for making the worst decisions didn't stop there. Because if there's anything more humiliating than Harvey Weinstein boomeranging on you, It's your own co-stars publicly running for the hills.
He's not familiar with the details and has only had the kindest, warmest interactions with both Blake and Ryan.
Enter Isabel Ferrer, aka the girl who played young Blake in It Ends With Us. Isabel might have been fresh-faced and new to the game, but clearly, she had enough sense to spot a sinking ship when she saw one. In March 2025, Daily Mail dropped the bomb that Isabel Ferrer quietly deleted multiple photos with Blake off her Instagram. Deleted, as in erased.
Isabel Ferrer has deleted some photos on Instagram with Blake Lively. This was in the Daily Mail as well. And they're referring to Elsie Eldridge, the creator who actually found this.
As in, I never knew that woman energy. And why? Sources said Blake tried to pressure poor Isabel into backing up her shiny harassment accusations against Justin. Small problem though. Isabel couldn't support something she never saw with her own eyes. Minor detail, right? Only the most important part of a legal case.
I feel like she has picked these scenes where she knew there was no intimacy coordinator present because there was no need to, and then she's trying to make those scenes seem like they were inappropriate, and then she felt harassed.
Isabel's team didn't even bother sugarcoating it. They told Daily Mail straight up that Isabel felt shafted by the whole situation. She was focused on her character, trying to do her job, not getting dragged into Blake's drama club. And honestly, can you blame her? Isabel was playing the younger version of Blake's character. They didn't even share scenes most of the time. It's like Blake was handing out subpoenas like candy at Halloween, and Isabel just slammed the door in her face.
She found out that Isabel Ferrer had deleted a bunch of photos with Blake Lively, and Daily Mail contacted a representative for Isabel Ferrer, and they said that Isabel deleted her photos with Blake Lively at the advice of those around her.
And the cherry on top? Isabel's people said she was worried about her career because, you know, backing an accusation you didn't personally witness could ruin your future in a heartbeat. It's almost like Blake forgot that not everyone is willing to light their career on fire just because she thinks the spotlight should always be on her.
Blake wants to drag her into this lawsuit and asked her to back her up on her accusations of SH, but Isabella could not do this because she didn't personally see this.
Watching Blake's so-called allies vanish one by one is like watching the last rats abandon a drowning ship. Except rats are usually smarter about it. First Harvey Weinstein, now Isabel Ferrer. And don't worry, this isn't just bad optics. In court, when even your own co-stars won't touch your story with a 10-foot pole, it screams credibility problems louder than a drunk tourist on karaoke night.
The source continues. She was very naive when she was cast, and everything to her was a privilege. She was so focused on her character that she didn't have the time to get involved in any gossip.
Blake tried so hard to spin this perfect victim narrative. She probably had the whole Pinterest board ready. Strong, brave woman fights evil Hollywood man. But instead, the only thing she's fighting is basic logic and common sense. If your witness list looks like a burned-out Christmas tree by the time the trial starts, you're not exactly winning any sympathy points.
She knows that defending anyone against accusations when she didn't see it herself with her own two eyes could be very damaging to her career. She feels shafted, and deleting her photos with Blake was no accident.
Justin didn't have to release some big emotional statement. He didn't have to run to the media crying about how unfair it all was. He just sat back, let Blake's bad decisions pile up like dirty laundry, and waited for the whole thing to collapse under its own weight. Honestly, Blake's downfall would almost be sad if it weren't so self-inflicted. Almost.
Well, then, Blake, you lost a supporter. I guess she still has Amber Heard and Harvey Weinstein.
But watching her try to weaponize cancel culture and then getting eaten alive by her own PR stunts, that's just karma doing its job. And we're all here for the show. Just when you thought Blake Lively's situation couldn't get any messier, along comes Adam Munchhine, like the ultimate plot twist she didn't see coming. Adam, who played the OBGYN in that famous birthing scene Blake has been whining about for months, finally opened his mouth. And boy, did he throw a wrecking ball through her lawsuit.
Now, Adam Munchhine came out exclusively on page 6, saying that that's not what happened at all.
Adam didn't just casually deny Blake's claims. No, he came out exclusively to page 6, full-on gloves off, saying Blake's little sob story about feeling exposed and humiliated was basically a work of fiction. According to Adam, Blake wasn't some poor victim abandoned on set. She was fully decked out in a hospital gown, black shorts, and a giant fake pregnancy belly. You know, like every actress who's ever shot a hospital scene in Hollywood.
Page 6, that I'm not going to speculate as to Ms. Lively's motivations for mentioning me in the complaint. Needless to say, my experience working with her is very different than the one she described in her lawsuit.
But wait, it gets even better. Adam said that throughout the entire shoot, Blake never once complained. Not a whisper, not a hint, nothing. It's like she was totally fine until suddenly she wasn't. Right around the time it became convenient to file a lawsuit. Weird how that works, right? And for anyone out there trying to dismiss Adam as just some random friend, Justin dragged off the street, think again.
He also said, I think it's obvious that they were friends, which I think is like, why wouldn't that be okay to hire a friend? I mean, Blake Lively hired her sister to be in the movie. So this guy, Adam, says that he has a Master of Fine Arts from UCLA, and I think he has like 10 movie credits on IMDb. So he wasn't just some random friend that Justin Baldoni just like put in the movie.
Adam has a master's degree in fine arts from UCLA and over 10 movie credits to his name. Meanwhile, Blake was hiring her own sister to work on the same movie. But sure, let's pretend she's the one who values professionalism.
The way that Blake Lively is describing this scene at all, she said in her lawsuit that Baldoni cast his best friend in the intimate role of her object during the birth scene, and it was invasive and humiliating.
And the cherry on top? Adam is willing to testify for Justin, in court, under oath. Good luck spinning that, Blake. There's nothing quite like having the guy you accused of making you uncomfortable stand up in court and calmly explain that you were wrapped up like a burrito the entire time. Blake's lawsuit is crumbling faster than a dollar store cookie, and Adam Munchhine just delivered the final stomp.
He played Dr. Dunbar in the movie, and he says, indeed, I was surprised to read her description of the scene. It also says here that he is willing to testify for Justin Baldoni.
But instead of sitting quietly and maybe, just maybe, trying to salvage what little dignity she had left, Blake did what any self-obsessed Hollywood actress would do. She cranked up the PR machine to full throttle. And by PR machine, I mean she called the paparazzi and scheduled her very own pity party photo shoot.
Also in the news again, Blake Lively has left the house. These are paparazzi pictures of her and Ryan Reynolds.
1 minute she's flashing a toothpaste commercial smile at some donut shop, pretending she's just a regular gal slinging sprinkles, and the next minute, boom. Blake's sad face is plastered all over the Daily Mail. There she is at her daughter's equestrian event in South New York, looking like she just realized she left her oven on.
They're watching one of their kids compete in equestrian in South Salem in New York. Blake looks kind of sad in the photos, so I'm thinking it might seem like this is her new PR trick. I don't know.
Of course, the media ran with it. Blake looks heartbroken, they cried. Blake looks crushed, they sighed. Yeah, because nothing screams genuine sadness like hiring a photographer to catch your best brooding angles. It's almost poetic. 1 week she's trying to look relatable by serving donuts with her hair practically rolling in the icing, and the next she's going full emo mom at a horse show.
She dresses like Lily, at least that's what I find from those photos. She looks sad and depressed. I mean, she could have been laughing in other pictures. You know, the paparazzi could have just chosen, or Daily Mail could have chosen the picture where she looks sad.
And here's the best part. Experts, you know, people whose job is to spot this kind of fakery, said these staged pap walks almost never work. Especially when you're already getting dragged for being a PR puppet. The public isn't stupid. They see right through this desperate grab for sympathy. Instead of helping her image or her lawsuit, Blake just managed to remind everyone how fake Hollywood really is, and how obsessed she is with staying relevant.
It might be that they hired someone to come and take photos, and they picked the photos where she looked sad and depressed. You have no idea how often this happens, that celebrities call paparazzis to come and take photos of them.
But hey, it's not just Blake fumbling around like a toddler in a glass shop. Ryan Reynolds, ever the supportive husband, decided it was time for some good old-fashioned damage control too. Because nothing screams, my wife's career is imploding, quite like suddenly turning your Instagram feed into a St. Ryan charity fest. Right when Blake's scandal hit the fan, Ryan conveniently started flooding his page with photos of himself posing with autistic children. So subtle, right? Just a regular day in the life of a humble millionaire actor who just happens to be knee-deep in a PR nightmare. No one's saying hanging out with fans is bad, but the timing? Absolutely hilarious. It's like someone in their camp screamed, activate Operation Distract the Masses, and Ryan took it a little too literally.
And Ryan Reynolds cannot stay away from Instagram today. Again, he posted a photo, a lot of pictures actually, with fans, or what someone pointed out to me that they are autistic kids. I don't know where that information is, but
even the fans were side-eyeing the whole thing. Comments started popping up left and right, pointing out how obvious the move was. Look at us. We're so kind. We're so relatable. Please forget about the lawsuits and harassment accusations flying around. Ryan didn't even bother posting anything with Blake herself. Not a single photo, not even a blurry background cameo. And you know when Ryan, who usually loves nothing more than goofing off with Blake on Instagram, suddenly pretends she doesn't exist? Yeah, that's when you know it's bad.
He is posing with all these kids, taking selfies with them and putting them on his Instagram, being like, look at me, I'm such a nice person, I take photos with all these people and all these kids, and I'm just so loving and nice.
Rather than making Blake and Ryan look like saints, this whole Instagram circus just made them look desperate. Like two kids trying to glue a shattered vase back together and acting shocked when the cracks are still showing. Sympathy isn't something you can manufacture with selfies and sad horse show appearances, especially not when you've already shown the world that you're willing to weaponize your own career downfall for attention.
I think Blake and Ryan are going through a real humongous PR crisis right now, and they're trying everything in their power to look good or to get sympathy or empathy or whatever it is they're trying.
If anything, these cringe PR stunts only weakened Blake's already sinking ship. Every staged photo, every fake smile, every suspiciously timed Instagram post just screamed panic. The more they tried to clean up the mess, the bigger the mess got. And somewhere out there, Justin Baldoni's lawyers were probably sitting back, sipping coffee, and laughing their heads off. Blake thought she was playing chess. Turns out, she's not even good at checkers. Every move she makes backfires harder than the last, and the more she scrambles to fix it, the clearer it becomes that she's in way over her head. Maybe next time she'll think twice before trying to turn a courtroom into a movie set. Or at the very least, she'll hire a better PR team. Because right now, this isn't just a loss. It's an absolute train wreck. And the whole world's got front row seats. As if Blake Lively's situation wasn't already a complete joke, Henry Golding decided to quietly but brutally twist the knife without even saying a word. You know it's bad when someone doesn't even bother shading you publicly. They just hit unfollow and let the world connect the dots.
Someone sent me a tip saying that you should check out Henry Golding's Instagram. As we know, that video with Blake Lively grabbing his went viral like last week, I think it was, and now it's going to be used in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, whatever.
Henry Golding, Blake's co-star from A Simple Favor, is no longer following Blake or Ryan Reynolds on Instagram. Zero drama, zero explanation, just pure silent rejection. But wait, he's still following Anna Kendrick and Hugh Jackman like everything's cool with them. Yikes. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what's going on here.
And this person said to me, you know, Henry Golding isn't following Blake Lively on Instagram. He is following Anna Kendrick. He is not following Ryan Reynolds either. He is following Hugh Jackman though.
And if you're thinking maybe it's just a random Instagram glitch, let's not forget the timing. Henry's quiet unfollow came right after that resurfaced video of Blake groping him during A Simple Favor promotional event blew up all over the internet. Public sympathy didn't just shift, it sprinted toward Henry like he was handing out free puppies.
I don't know if he unfollowed her, if he used to follow her, but now he is not following her anymore.
To make it even more obvious, Henry didn't post a single solo photo with Blake during the movie's promo tour. Not one. Meanwhile, he was all smiles with Anna Kendrick, posing like he actually wanted to be there. Fans noticed. Fans always notice. And when they flooded Henry's Instagram comments with support after the groping video went viral, it pretty much confirmed what everyone was already thinking. Henry's silence was very, very loud.
I looked at the latest picture that Henry Golding posted, and there's a lot of comments on it about the grabbing from Blake Lively. And now he's getting all this sympathy from people saying, you know, that she put him in a horrible position and blah, blah, blah.
In court optics, this is a nightmare for Blake. When your former co-star is basically playing the world's quietest game of I want nothing to do with you, it screams to everyone watching that maybe, just maybe, Blake isn't the poor, innocent victim she's pretending to be. It's hard to sell a harassment case when you've got receipts of yourself grabbing your co-star like it's a party trick. Henry Golding didn't have to do a single interview, issue a single statement, or fire off a single shady tweet. He let Blake's behavior speak for itself, and boy, was it deafening.
He didn't actually pose with any photos with Blake Lively by himself, but he did pose with pictures with Anna Kendrick during that premiere. So I think it's obvious now where Henry Golding stands, because it's such a statement when you don't follow someone on Instagram.
But Blake's circus of disasters wasn't finished. Oh no. Enter Stephanie Jones, the so-called PR Genulocks team, who somehow managed to make things even worse. Stephanie decided it was a brilliant idea to file a motion to dismiss, claiming she never voluntarily leaked confidential texts to Blake or the media. According to her, it was all subpoenaed. Sure, Jan.
But I saw that Deadline did a story on Stephanie Jones saying that she didn't actually leak those texts to Blake Lively's team or to the New York Times. It was subpoenaed.
Except there's one giant problem. The subpoena supposedly came after the leaks already happened, which means Stephanie's excuse is about as watertight as a paper boat. If you're going to lie to the court, maybe at least try to make it believable. The timeline is so messed up that even the most basic fact check exposes it for the joke that it is.
It was subpoenaed. So she said that she didn't give up those texts and emails voluntarily. I don't know, do you have evidence of that? Why was there a subpoena at that point if there weren't any legal actions at that point?
If Stephanie's story somehow holds up, it paints Blake's team as a bunch of shady amateurs who can't even break the law properly. And if it doesn't, it shows that they were out here manipulating illegally obtained evidence like it was free candy on Halloween. Either way, it's not exactly the kind of thing that makes a judge sit up and say, wow, what an honest and trustworthy plaintiff.
I just find it interesting that Stephanie hasn't come out with this information earlier, why she was subpoenaed and didn't give this information voluntarily. Why did she keep that from everyone for this long? I don't know, makes no sense.
Meanwhile, Justin's legal team has been sitting back, quietly stacking real witnesses like Adam Munchhine who actually know what they're talking about. No panic, no shady leaks, no desperate PR stunts, just clean, boring, solid evidence. And let's be honest, in a courtroom, boring and solid beats messy and shady every single time.
He also adds that she never complained or expressed discomfort at any point because nothing unusual or improper occurred. It was entirely professional.
Watching Blake's legal strategy unravel is like watching someone try to put out a house fire with a squirt gun. Every move she makes just makes things worse. And it all leads perfectly into the grand finale, her complete, spectacular implosion. Instead of isolating Justin, Blake's brilliant plan blew up right in her perfectly curated face. She managed to tie herself to Harvey Weinstein because nothing says trust me like cozying up to Hollywood's biggest predator while he's gearing up for a new trial. She lost Isabelle Ferrer, her own young co-star, who basically sprinted away from her like her career depended on it. And she alienated Henry Golding, who let the world know he wants zero part of her mess without even opening his mouth.
The representative said he's not familiar with the details and has only had the kindest, warmest interactions with both Blake and Ryan.
Meanwhile, Justin's counterattack has been quiet, steady, and absolutely lethal. Witness after witness coming forward to calmly and professionally tear down Blake's claims. Adam Munchhine's testimony alone is a death blow, but the real kicker is how clean and credible Justin's side looks compared to Blake's parade of cell phones. Because here's the thing. Courts don't care about sad Instagram photos or donut shop PR stunts. They care about facts. They care about consistency. They care about witnesses who don't mysteriously disappear or post thirsty pap shots to cover their tracks. And right now, every ounce of credibility is tilting heavily toward Justin Baldoni. Blake's harassment claims look weaker and more desperate with every passing day. Her legal support system is falling apart faster than a dollar store umbrella in a hurricane. And public sympathy? Yeah, that ship sailed, sank, and got eaten by sharks months ago. At this point, Blake's courtroom gamble has turned into a full-blown self-destruction. She thought she was going to stage a heroic comeback, standing tall against the big bad man of Hollywood. Instead, she's standing alone, looking around the ruins of a career she blew up all by herself. And Justin? He hasn't just defended himself. He's exposed the whole rotten Hollywood power game for what it is. Fake alliances, fake narratives, fake sympathy grabs. Blake Lively thought she was smart enough to weaponize the system. Turns out she was just another Hollywood player who forgot that when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.